Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, Sunday afternoon, and this is typical when we see stuff kind of sneak into the news to be released because nobody's paying attention, and oh, by tomorrow something else is going on, and this kind of gets put on the back burner. Nobody pays attention to it. Except welcome to the era of the internet where there's plenty of people like me and many others who watch this stuff to see what's going on. There was a letter that was put out yesterday, today here, by the French Ministry of Health to hospitals to prepare for this is what the letter said, to prepare for major engagement by March of 2026, and they should expect somewhere between 10 and 50,000 wounded soldiers in their hospitals, as they were going to be acting as a rear base. Now start doing this. 10 to 50,000 soldiers, not just French either. They're talking about European. Could be American, could be Canadian, could be Australian, who knows? Okay. Gee, anybody want to give me an idea where there's a potential for war that France could be a rear base? Considering France is on the west coast of Europe, I'm not thinking about this being a war in the middle of the Atlantic. Certainly not thinking about being a war in the United States and we'd be shipping wounded people across the Atlantic. So, could there be anything to do with, Russia, Ukraine, or Europeans / North Africans? Let's just put it that way. That they could have either a civil war or World War III. The health minister, Catherine Vautrin, has not denied anything in this report, anything in this publication, saying this is part of their preparation. For what? Okay, care to inform everybody? Us, sure, but maybe inform the rest of Europe that you're expecting war within 6 months, less than, and that mass casualties are coming about. You start thinking about this. They're talking about people needing to have strategic stockpiles. Just a month ago, France put out a survival manual to all their citizens. Now, not that that's uncommon in Europe, okay? But this is the first we've heard about hospitals getting prepared. Hospitals don't get prepared. It's not like, gee, you know what? It's the 4th of July weekend. Let's plan on a few more car accidents or people doing stupid stuff and blowing their hands off. Sure, they may think about that. They don't go, you know what, we're planning on 50,000 people coming in from car accidents. No, this is going to be a little bit more intricate. And again, if they are the rear base, what are the front bases supposed to consider? Would that be, Germany, or Poland, or Austria, or anything that's kind of in between France and the Russia-Ukraine lines? Is Europe planning some sort of offensive against Russia? It's a possibility, okay? Not that they have the equipment to do it. So, of course, Europe will come up and say, U.S., we need you to give us a whole bunch of stuff because we don't have anything. Remember, as we've said, they only have a couple of dozen running tanks. Germany doesn't have enough bullets to last more than a day. maybe they've ramped that up and they're now at 2 days. Who knows? Okay. But see, then you get the other part that you got to pay attention to is Zapad 2025 is coming up, and that is a huge joint military exercise between Russia and Belarus. And so you don't know if that turns into a cover, not that I think this is going to happen, but who knows anymore, that, gee, this could be a staging for some sort of push into Ukraine. It's possible. You see what Zelensky said lately, that he's not going to even listen to any peace treaties that are negotiated by Trump and Putin, that not everything is off the table until the West gives him another $250 billion. Grifter, okay? No, you're not getting shit, dude, okay? You know, your casket is a lot cheaper. And that would be a lot more beneficial to the world. But you start looking at everything here. NATO chief Mark Rutte has said that the world is on the brink of World War III. You start putting all this together and you think about how it affects us. If you've got younger kids, all right, grandkids or even kids, could they be drafted? Would that happen? It's possible. I don't think it's probable, but it's possible. What would that do to the economy? Oh, that would devastate the economy, because now all of a sudden it's everything, everything's got to go to the war effort, if you will. So a lot of the stuff that we are used to getting, not going to get, it would make prices astronomical. Think about gasoline, for example, any sort of fuel, diesel, pick something, plane tickets, go along, anything. Metals, yeah, that would be highly inflationary. Good luck getting ammo if you don't have it. Hint, hint. Okay. You start looking at all of those things. Then if it gets bad, the little red button that sits on everybody's desk. Now, granted, if it hits right where you are, forget it. But do you have your potassium iodide? Okay. Do you have, as we've talked about before on the channel, a clean room set up, ready to go in your house that you could have put together in a half an hour? Is everything already put together? You've got the covers for the windows to seal them off to make sure nothing comes through. Do you have that room taken care of where if you've got to live in that room for a couple of weeks, you can, right? We don't know. We have to read the tea leaves. And when you start getting memorandums put out like this, say, be ready for 10,000 to 50,000 wounded soldiers, that's not something that you just go, you know what? No big deal. You don't plan for that. Not at that scale. It's something to pay attention to, not something to panic about, but certainly something to go, as I said, if this all happens, what do I think is going to be short and hard to get? Like I said, ammo is going to be one for sure. Fuel, food, all that sort of stuff. You might want to go take a look real quick and go, what do I need just a little bit more of? Just in case we hit 12 o'clock on the doomsday clock. Pinball out.